Hi everyone, this is Aaron Passantine, and today I have Eric Shanower here, and he was born on October 23rd, and as he grew up, he had a great interest in the Wizard of Oz stories by L. Frank Baum, and as he got older, he got interested in the movie, and then he wanted to start writing his own Wizard of Oz books and really continue on in the legacy that L. Frank Baum had left off today. And as the years went by, Eric had gotten several books, in fact many books published, and he ended up illustrating manuscripts and produced some graphic art novels on the Wizard of Oz. And after graduation, he actually first received his first professional comic assignment, and he did the lettering on an issue of a comic book called Warp that was published by First Comics. Today, Eric still continues writing Oz novels and continues to speak like children and an audience of all ages in his books. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Aaron.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
Good. Well, let me first ask you, how did you actually get interested in the Wizard of Oz books and in the movie?
Well, I first saw the movie, the first time I remember seeing the movie, I was 6 years old. I was in first grade, and I saw it on television. I only saw it on a black and white set. The first several times I saw it was in black and white, so I didn't know that it turned to color after the first section. After I saw the movie, I would have my sister and our friends play Wizard of Oz, and I was really enthusiastic about it. I loved the movie. One time when my parents took me to a bookstore, this was a few months later, I came across 4 of the Oz books by L. Frank Baum. I was allowed to pick out one book and for my parents to buy and bring home, and I picked The Road to Oz. My parents read me a chapter every night, and from then on I was hooked. I decided I wanted everything that had anything to do with Oz. So I eventually bought all the Oz books and read them all, and it's been, many years since then, so Oz has filled quite a bit of the time and places in my life.
Yes.
Not very long after I fell in love with the Oz books, I decided I wanted to write and draw my own Oz books. There had been a lot of different authors of the Oz books that followed L. Frank Baum. They had continued the series after his death, and I didn't see any reason why I couldn't be the next one.
Yes.
So eventually I did write and draw my own Oz stories, and I started right away when I was a child to write and draw my own Oz stories, but those aren't very good, and after my childhood attempts at writing and drawing Oz stories, I eventually became a professional cartoonist, and the first major Oz project I did was a series of Oz graphic novels, comic books.
Yes.
Based on the Oz books with the characters and continuing their adventures.
That's amazing. Now, as the years go by, I know you're much older now, but, and I always ask certain people this depending on how they respond, but now, when you look at things now, did you see when you were younger that you were actually, really going to do this and see what has become to as it is today?
Well, I didn't have any idea as a child where my interest in Oz would lead me. And it's led many different places, many different rich, fulfilling experiences, meeting people and doing work. But when I was a kid, I wanted to write and draw Oz books, so I didn't know exactly what form they were going to take. I assumed that I would be illustrating and writing books very much in the same format, and that they would look very much like the original books. And they didn't. I mean, many of the projects I illustrated and written haven't looked like that.
Yes.
But I would say that, I knew what I wanted, and I eventually did it.
Yeah, that's great. I just also admire your illustrations for your books because, and I'm sure everybody else can agree, that they are so much the classic type of illustrations for Oz, and it's hard to find other people, like yourself that can actually do something like that, they would say to the T of looking so close, you know?
Yeah, well, thank you, Aaron.
Yes.
One of the reasons I fell in love with the Oz books when I was a child were the illustrations by John R. Neal.
Yes.
He's still one of my favorite illustrators. And as far as I'm concerned, the way he drew Oz is the way Oz really looks.
Yes.
So when I draw my versions of Oz, they're very closely based on Neal's drawings. He's a foundation for everything. Other people, some people who aren't familiar with the books look at my work and wonder why I don't draw Dorothy looking like Judy Garland. And I totally understand where they're coming from, but for me, the 1939 MGM movie, while I think it's a wonderful movie, it's just a version of Oz and not
You're right.
what Oz really looks like.
Yeah.
Dorothy really looks like a certain person, and then the movie makers cast Judy Garland to play that person.
Yes.
It's sort of, I'm not trying to sound like a nut here.
Yeah.
I view Oz, on some level I have to view Oz as real. Obviously it's fictional, but when I write and draw it, I view the fictional reality as something that actually exists. So
Yes.
for me, Dorothy is a real person.
Yes. Now, I have read in another interview before that growing up for you, I guess, I don't know if it was when you were a teenager or after you went to college, you would get up and head straight over to the YMCA, swim for a few hours, and then go off and spend some time, I guess, in writing, or you went back to school, and then by the time you were through it for everything, you would come back home, and then you would end up going to bed after you had supper. Can you kind of tell a little bit about that?
Okay, that was after I got out of art school.
I see, okay.
I started, the life of a cartoonist is pretty sedentary, sitting at a drawing table all day, and I decided that I needed some sort of exercise. And, I'm not particularly a person who likes sports or anything like that.
Yes,
so
neither do I.
I just had to come up with something that I would continue to do on a regular basis, and that ended up being swimming.
I see.
And I only swim for about half an hour, and I try to do it at least 5 days a week, but it usually ends up being 4.
I see.
3.
Okay.
And I still swim. I've been doing it for 20 years now.
Yeah.
And it's good exercise, and,
Yes.
that keeps me going, I guess.
That's good.
I just think it's really important when one has a job that one spends so much time doing that when I'm not moving, that I gotta get out and move, keep the blood flowing.
That's neat. So, you never thought when you were little you could make it to the Olympics, Eric?
I'm sorry, what?
You never thought when you were little you could really make it to the Olympics at all? Huh.
No, I was much more interested in reading and drawing.
Yes.
And getting out there and trying to compete with anybody.
That's neat. Oh, that's good. And you get stronger too when you swim, and I've known that too. And I haven't swum most of my life, but I have swum before growing up, so I know how that is. So, but anyways, then as you had grown up and got a little bit older, actually, obviously before that time, you lived in California and Maryland and Virginia and Washington State and Cuba and several different places. Was that more because of your father's job or just traveling to different?
My father was in the U.S. Coast Guard.
I see.
So he was transferred every couple of years, and the whole family, went with him.
Yes.
That was the only reason that I lived so many places.
Yes. When you were growing up and that was going on, did you find it hard to make friends, since you were moving, or did you still try to stay in contact with the friends that you made?
Well, when I was young, whenever we moved, I usually lost contact with the friends I had at the last place.
Yes.
As an adult, thinking back on that, it seems kind of strange because I certainly don't do that sort of thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I stay in contact with people, but as a kid, it was just, that was the way it was. It was sort of serial friendships. You just have one, and then you move, and you make other friends. I had good friendships when I was in elementary school. When I got to high school age, life wasn't so easy anymore.
Yeah, that's right. That's how I see it too. Now then, as you got older, I guess, I'm not going to say the first time, but as you did get older and you ended up watching The Wizard of Oz, the 1939 musical, what was your perspective on it? I guess maybe when you saw it for the first time and then when you had gotten older, what were your thoughts on it?
Well, I loved it for many years.
Yes.
It was my favorite movie for a long time. One thing I wanted to say about how much impact that movie has, at least had on me,
yes,
was for the first couple times of me seeing it, I did not understand that Dorothy was supposed to have dreamed her trip to Oz in the movie.
Really?
I just assumed she knew what she was talking about, and everybody else poo-pooed her when she got back to Kansas. But that was just because they didn't know what they were talking about.
Yes, that's right.
I was fully convinced. I never even, the thought that it was a dream never even entered my mind. Then I got a Disneyland album of songs from The Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
And it had a synopsis of the story on the back cover of the album.
Yes.
And at the end it said it was all a dream. And I just felt like, what? That's nuts.
Yeah.
That was quite disappointing to me. But anyway, I just wanted to, that's how much that movie had an impact on me. I fully believed it. And I think as a child, there was always this sort of wish or hope in the back of my mind that Oz was a real place that I could go to.
Yes.
There was a possibility I could get there someday.
Yes.
I don't know how old I was, maybe I was in third grade or something, when I finally asked one of my parents if Oz is a real place. Of course, my dad very bluntly said no.
Yeah.
And I felt disappointed, but, I knew it wasn't real.
Yeah, it's not.
In the back of my mind, I knew it wasn't real. I was just really, really hoping.
Yes.
But that's not such a bad thing, because if it's not a real place, that means I can make up my own Oz stories, right?
That's right, and that's what you have done and you're continuing to do, and honestly, I think you can now be thankful that you have dreams when you have them, because I'm sure many times you have dreamt about being in Oz, I'm sure, right?
I have had Oz dreams, yeah.
Yes, neat. Well, that's neat. Now, this wasn't planned for me to say this, but I would say, have some of the dreams that you have had over the years, have some of those translated in part and writing in some of the books that you have written?
I don't think anything that I've actually had published started with a dream.
Okay.
When I was a kid, though, some of the Oz books I wrote had parts of dreams in them.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was one in particular when I was writing when I was in 5th grade, just in 6th grade, that started out with a dream about me and a bunch of my friends being confronted by some menacing teenagers in a junky old station wagon.
Wow.
And I put that into the Oz book, that the characters went to Oz in the station wagon.
Wow. Which one was that?
It's not a book that will ever see the light of day.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
It's a book I wrote when I was little.
I see.
It's not very good.
In my mind, I was thinking, I want to find out the name. I want to read that.
You don't want to read it.
Okay. All right.
It's a juvenile effort.
Okay.
Which is not worth anybody's time.
Okay.
When I got to be older, when I got to be an adult, I still watched the movie every year for a while. Then when I got the contract to write and draw Oz graphic novels, I suddenly became very, very focused on what my vision of Oz was, and I was really intolerant of anybody else's vision of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie was so different than my vision of Oz that I just couldn't watch it anymore. I did try, after a few years, try to watch it a couple times, but I generally fell asleep during it. So I hadn't seen it for 15 years until last month when the new DVD was released.
Yes.
There was a reception up in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And a screening of the DVD with all the restoration done. And I hadn't seen it in 15 years, and I thought it was a great movie. I'm so happy that it was just pretty riveting. It was a wonderful experience also to see it with an audience.
Yes.
In a theater. I had seen it, several times before in a movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd never seen it with a packed audience. And I think that audience at the reception last month was there to see that movie. It was a special event.
Yes.
And so it was a really great experience.
Yes.
Just the response of the audience to the screen. A couple things that really impressed me, which were a surprise, were how scary that cyclone is.
I know.
That is great movie making.
I know.
It's really frightening.
You're right.
I just, someone at the end, I overheard someone in the audience say, "Oh, I guess those special effects were pretty good for 1939." And I just thought, no, those special effects were just good, period.
Yeah, that's right.
Not everything works all the time. I mean, there's some little tiny flaws here and there.
That's right.
But
yes.
As a whole, I think that it works. And that cyclone, I mean, that's just good movie making. That's good special effects, period. You don't have to say for back then.
That's right.
They couldn't do better today with computer-generated effects.
Yeah, you're right. And I so agree. I mean, I think the sound, the picture, and just everything that they had brought together with it made it more alive. And in fact, John Fricke told me it was shortly before October 25th, and I spoke to him about it, and he said to me, "Aaron, you're really gonna love it. It is almost three-dimensional." And I said, wow. And so then finally I saw it, and I could kind of tell that somewhat too. So, and he told me that. And so, I feel the same way. And honestly, even still to this day, the tornado and that whole scene with that was my most favorite part of the movie, because it was just, it's exciting.
Yeah.
So, yes. So.
One of the other things that really struck me was how funny Billy Burke is. As a child, I mean, she's just not that funny. But watching it as an adult, she has some of the driest, wittiest lines. It was just, the whole audience was cracking up every time she opened her mouth. That was really a revelation to me. How actually funny her lines are.
I don't think of it that way. I'll say this, you get me into it so much by what you're saying. I want to stop the whole thing right now and start watching the movie. Yeah. Honestly.
I don't know, and I was really impressed by Judy Garland all over again.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not sure whether it was the new restoration with the higher resolution, or whether I just didn't notice it when I had seen the movie before, but her acting is just excellent.
You're right, it is.
I was just really impressed by her all over again.
Yes. MGM trained her very well over the years, and I think that obviously is very, very evident through that movie. And I mean, I have seen several of her other movies before that she made after The Wizard of Oz, but honestly, I still think The Wizard of Oz is the best one, and I still think that's why most people say, when they hear the name Judy Garland, they associate with her as Dorothy from the movie, and I think it'll always be that way. So, yes. I'm glad to hear that, obviously, so much for you, that you have a great appreciation for the movie, even after the restoration, and I think many fans and people like you will agree on that. Now, to finish up, well, at least with that topic on it, you had gotten a personal invitation to come and go to Los Angeles for the screening.
Right.
Can you tell me, did you get that in the mail, and kind of what did that say?
Well, I think they actually sent them by DHL, which is an overnight delivery service.
I see.
And it was an invitation, and I think it had the same artwork that's on the 2-disc set.
I see.
On the front of the card, and it said on inside, you're invited to this reception.
I see.
And screening and RSVP by a certain date. And the dress was, they asked people to dress in ruby red chic.
Oh.
And whatever that meant.
What did you wear?
But I went out and bought a red tie to wear with my suit.
Cool.
So that was my token effort.
Special effort, yes.
Their dress.
That's neat.
Dress code.
That's great. Now, I know that John Fricke was there. I hadn't been able to talk to him since he went over there, but tell me how things were with him, and I guess with you. I'm sure you spoke to him. What were? Do you remember some of the comments that he made, maybe before or after the showing?
Well, I talked to him a little before at the reception. We just sort of caught up because last time I saw him was in August.
Yeah.
And just said, how you doing? And he was working.
Yeah.
He had to be interviewing people, and he did a presentation before the screening.
Oh, I see.
So I didn't want to monopolize his time.
Yes.
And afterward, he was there, and I said bye after the movie was over. I just said bye and see you. See you whenever we get together again.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't talk to him much at the reception, but it was good to see him.
Yeah.
I don't see him very often.
Yes, that's neat.
And I talked to other people. The person that I kind of was a fan about was Margaret O'Brien.
Oh, yes.
In the audience.
Yes.
She played Tootie in
That's right, Mimi in St. Louis.
She was like 6 years old.
Yes.
So, John, I think it was John during his presentation before the movie, he introduced a bunch of people in the audience, people who had special relationships to the movie or were related to people. John Fricke was introducing people who had something to do with the movie or were somehow connected to people who had worked on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he introduced Margaret O'Brien, who was in the audience. And she didn't actually work on The Wizard of Oz, but she was in Mimi in St. Louis with Judy Garland. And my mother saw Mimi in St. Louis when my mother was very young, and she was about the age Tootie was in the movie, and just fell in love with that character. So I said to myself, well, I've got to get Margaret O'Brien's autograph for my mother. So I did go up to Margaret O'Brien after the movie was over, and she gave me her autograph and signed it for my mother.
Wonderful.
So
that's neat.
I gave that to my mother, and she seemed to appreciate it.
I'm sure she did. That's neat. I bet you went back to the hotel that night with wonderful... What? Oh, you drove home.
Yeah, well, I live in San Diego.
Oh, yes.
So it's about 2 hours. It was probably like 2.5 hours.
Yes.
Well, driving up, we had to go through rush hour, so it was longer.
All right. Well, then, I guess I should say when you went home that night and went to bed, you went and laid your head on your pillow with very happy memories of the evening, right?
Yeah, it was a really good. The whole experience of the reception and the screening was a really, really positive thing.
That's great. I so wish I could be there. I was never invited to anything like that, but I don't know. I heard so much about that. I mean, I'm hearing a lot more from you on it, but I heard good things about that. So now, anyways, as you have been continuing to write these books, do you potentially see any of them coming into a feature film, whether it be animated or live action?
Oh, I don't know. I doubt it.
Okay. Is that something you might want in the future?
Oh, if some producer wanted to option one of my books, sure,
Yes.
give me some money.
Yeah, yeah, you
Sign a
get your
contract.
money. Yes.
I don't have much ambitions in that way.
Okay.
If someone wants to approach me, sure, I'm willing to talk. I suppose it sounds kind of mercenary, but at this point, I'm a cartoonist. I write and draw comics, mostly. I illustrate books. I also do a little writing and illustrating on the side. But I'm a cartoonist. That's what I do. That's what I enjoy doing. That's what I'll do for the rest of my life.
Yes.
I anticipate. Who knows what the future holds.
Yes.
But I don't have... If someone wants to come to me with a movie, with an idea to make a movie out of something that I've done, that's great. But I am not going to get too involved. They can pay me the money and take it and go. And do what their vision is.
Yes. And then in a year or two, you'll sit down, either maybe at the theaters or with the DVD in your hand that will say, such and such, and based upon Eric Shanower in big, bright letters on the screen.
Yeah,
Something
well,
you'll be
it's nice
waiting
to see my name
Yes.
on the end in the credits somewhere.
Yes. That's neat.
But, in the same way I did the interview for the Wizard of Oz DVD, I mean, they did, John Fricke did the interview, and he spent about an hour and a half with me.
Oh, really?
And I said lots of stuff. And I took tons of artwork up there, and they shot all this artwork.
Really?
And then when, I knew they were going to cut out most of it. I knew they were going to just use a little bit. And of course, that's what they did. I'm on the screen for a minute, maybe. Tom.
Yeah.
And they show some artwork, which I was really happy about, because I'd rather have them showing the artwork than showing me, because who cares what I look like?
Oh, wow. Everybody cares what people look like. I care what you look like. You're a great guy.
But the
you know
artwork
that.
is the important thing.
You're right. You're right.
But, and they had me saying something that it wasn't totally out of context. It was like, oh, why did they choose that?
What was that?
Oh, they had me talk about a book, The Giant Garden of Oz.
Yes.
And it was sort of a departure from my Oz work in that it was more of a thriller and there's a little more violence in it than my other Oz work. But that's what they chose to focus on. So the last word I have on screen is about how people said it was so gruesome. And but I knew going in that's the kind of thing that happens.
Yes.
They just take out what you want.
You're right.
To show, and they put on what is going to most embarrass you.
So that most
I'm still glad
to be
in it. I mean, I knew going in what the chances were. And all the way up to the last minute, I may end up on the cutting room floor. They may not use me.
Yes.
They had interviewed David at the same time.
Yes.
And someone had told him, probably had seen a review copy or something, someone had told him that he had ended up on it, but this person hadn't said anything about me. So all the way up until the night of the reception, I was like, well, I don't even know if I'm in this.
Oh, boy.
And at the reception, I was talking to the woman who works for Spark Hill, who was a company that did all the documentaries and stuff.
I see. Okay.
Who had originally contacted me.
Yes.
I was talking to her at the reception. I said, did I actually end up on the DVD? She said, oh, yes, you're in it.
Oh, boy. Neat. Now, was Elaine Horn in attendance with, I can't remember the guy's name that helped along with her on things. Were they both there?
Elaine Horn.
Yes.
Try out my memory who she is.
She's on the DVD, and she is the Judy Garland impersonator as Dorothy.
I don't think she was there.
Oh, that's strange. That's too bad. Oh, well.
I don't remember her there anyway.
Okay.
She may have been there. See, a lot of people were introduced from the audience, but the people who weren't like really, really connected with the movie weren't introduced from the audience. I mean, I wasn't introduced from the audience, but there were people like Joey Luft was introduced.
Oh, he was there.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, did he...
I think one of Lorna Luft's children, a daughter, was there.
Yes, okay.
Her last name is Richard.
Okay.
And
now...
Bob Baum and his wife Claire were there.
Yes.
He's a great-grandson of L. Frank Baum.
Yes, that's right, yes.
And all the 5 of the Munchkins were there, 5 or 6, I can't remember exactly.
Yes.
Including one who doesn't usually travel.
Uh-huh.
So,
that's very interesting.
I can't, and I think there were some other people who were children of technical people who worked on the film. I can't remember exactly at this point.
Yes.
But people like me who, didn't really have a close connection with the actual film itself weren't introduced. So Elaine Horn may have been there, and I just didn't know.
Okay, I was just kind of curious about that. Now, in North Carolina, up in Banner Elk, up on Beech Mountain, there is a Land of Oz park that has been opening every single weekend, or the first weekend on October, for the past at least 10 or 11 years now. And you actually had gone up there, I believe, one time or several times when you were really young, and when the park was fully opened, and they had an Emerald City and many great things there. Tell me about your time there when you were little.
Okay. My mother first read an article about it in the Holiday Inn magazine, and so I was really excited to go there. And it was about a year later, my parents finally gave in, and we took a vacation and went to the Land of Oz Park. I was born in Florida, but I moved away when I was 6 months old, so I'd never really been in the South before. And what struck me a lot about traveling down there, we lived in Maryland, and we were traveling down, is it South Carolina? North Carolina?
It's in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yes.
From Maryland to North Carolina. It seemed a long way at the time, but it's obviously not that long a trip. We kept going in these tourist traps, and they used to have little wooden toys and games and things, which I've never seen anywhere else except on that trip. I don't know if they still have stuff like that, but that was kind of a memory I have from that trip.
Yes.
Driving up the mountain seems to take a really long time.
Yes, it does.
Because it was all twisty, turny, and winding around. We got up to the park. There's a little tourist village there, and the ski lifts are there. You had to take the ski lifts up to the park. I'd never been in a ski lift before or seen one.
Really?
And I don't know what they are like now, but then they looked like these M&Ms.
Really?
And with holes in the bottom, they were like all enclosed, painted bright color, metal.
Wow.
Spherical things.
Amazing.
Little cars on this wire, on the ski lift wire going up the mountain.
Yes.
And there was, of course, a hole in the bottom of the car for people to put their skis out of. We weren't going for skiing, we were going to the Oz Park.
Yes.
And but there was still a hole in the bottom of the car, and it was so bizarre to me.
Yes.
I was really scared of falling out. I mean, I was 8 years old. I don't remember exactly how old I was. I was probably about eight at the time.
Yes.
We got up to the park. The view was beautiful. There was a bust of Judy Garland, I think, as Dorothy, overlooking a view.
I see.
Or was it a bust of L. Frank Baum?
That's not even there anymore.
A metal bust of one of them.
I see.
I thought that was still there, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't remember it being there. Okay.
I don't know if it's still there.
Huh.
The entrance was this little museum, what they called their museum. Out front, I was really excited to go because I thought they were going to have all the Oz books on sale, and I was going to be able to buy all the Oz books.
Oh, really? Wow.
I was disappointed in that because they didn't. In fact, in front of the museum, they had this case out in the open in this little garden area. There were some Oz books in it. They weren't all the Oz books. They weren't all first editions. I don't think any of them were first editions. They were later editions. It's kind of disappointing, and you couldn't get into the case. You could only sort of look at them through the glass on the outside of the case.
Yes.
That was a little disappointing. Then we went into the museum. They had one of Judy Garland's Dorothy dresses and some other costumes from the movie.
Yes.
I don't remember exactly which ones they were. I think they had one of Frank Morgan's as a soldier costume.
Yes, okay.
I can't really remember.
Yeah,
This is all a long time ago.
Yes.
When you go out of the museum and you go to Dorothy's house in Kansas.
Yes, that's all there.
They had a garden. I guess it was a functioning garden. And you go inside the house, you go down the cellar stairs inside the house. As you went down the stairs, there was a movie playing where you could see, just like in the real movie, in The Wizard of Oz, you could see things flying by, you know, like cows and people flying by in the cyclone. That was projected on the wall as you go down the stairs.
Yes.
When you get down the stairs, you're in the house again, but it's a different structure than the first house, and it's cockeyed. The floors were all tipped, so it was a little hard to walk on. And it was supposed to be the house after it's landed in Oz.
Yeah.
And you go out the front door, and you're in Oz.
Yes.
And then the yellow brick road. Some of the trees were painted to look like they had faces on them. I don't really remember the trips to the Emerald City on the yellow brick road. Supposedly, you would go to the Scarecrow and he would give a little speech and sing a song, and then you would go on to the Tin Woodman, and the same thing would happen, and then a lion. I remember a little scene like that with the witch.
Oh, okay.
But I don't remember exactly what happened.
Okay.
I remember the Emerald City much better.
Yes.
That was sort of the main area. They had shops and dining places to eat. And
were they restaurants then, actually?
Yeah. I think there were two places, a couple places. We ate at one of them. It was just like hot dogs or something.
Okay.
It wasn't very elaborate.
Okay.
And there was a stage in the middle of the Emerald City.
Okay.
And, once an hour or something like that, they would have a show. It was Dorothy and her friends meeting the wizard. And he would go tell them to melt the witch, and then they would have that scene with Dorothy melting the witch. And then they would go back to the wizard. The wizard was just a projected movie on a circle at the back of the stage.
I see.
It was just his head.
I see. Okay.
All the other characters were actors and were on the stage.
Yes.
There were also these two mushrooms. They were sort of bright orange and yellow, and they were people dressed up as these mushrooms. And Dorothy had a song, and I think the mushrooms came out during the song and sort of danced around. It was like something out of Puff and Stuff.
Oh, cute. Yes.
And unlike the book or the movie, the wizard was able to grant Dorothy's wish and put her into a balloon.
Yes.
To send her back to Kansas. There was a balloon ride. This was like the one ride the park had. It was a balloon ride.
Oh, really?
And it was behind you. When you're sitting at the stage and looking in the audience, looking at the stage, Dorothy, the balloons are behind you.
Yeah,
And they had lots of different actors in all the different parts. So Dorothy was on stage, and then the wizard worked some magic, and then he was supposed to have sent her into the balloon behind you, and you look up and there's Dorothy in the balloon. Obviously it was a different person playing Dorothy.
I see.
And then you could go ride a balloon. The balloons at the park were kind of like a tramway. At the San Diego Zoo, they have a tramway that you can ride across
I see.
the zoo. I'm sure they have them in other zoos and other places like that. Anyway, that's what this was like.
So they had a real...
like a balloon, though.
So they had a real tramway over there then at the park.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember how long it went. I think it just carried you across the park back to the entrance.
Amazing. Wow.
And we stayed for the show. We watched the show twice. My dad took home movies of the show.
Really?
And unfortunately, I double exposed them later with some other stuff. So I developed them, and we have these movies, but you can see the show going on, and these giant pink and orange and yellow mushrooms dancing around.
Amazing.
At the same time as like me and my friends doing crazy stuff that we had filmed later. So unfortunately, they're double exposed.
Amazing. Wow.
We got a few regular still photographs from the park, though.
Wow, that's amazing. Those are just cherished memories and cherished things that you'll never want to eventually find out that they were burned in a fire, I'm sure. I mean, I would feel the same way.
I have masks that I bought there.
Oh.
Paper masks of the main characters, Dorothy, the Scarecrow, the Tin Woodman, the Lion, and the Witch. My sister bought a Dorothy one.
Yes.
I don't know if she still has hers, but I still have mine.
Neat.
We also got we got sweatshirts too. My sister and I both got sweatshirts.
Oh, they had sweatshirts there. Wow.
Oh yeah, they had lots of stuff. Stuff in all the shops.
Wow. I will say that obviously, if you haven't been there in the past few years, you know they don't have a stage there. They don't have the restaurants. The Emerald City is not there anymore, and it's. I mean, they have the museum. They have the farmhouse and the Dorothy house and all that, and they have some of that stuff, but a lot of this other stuff they're not doing, and they don't even have anymore, because I'm sure you know, and at least for the people that don't know, it was vandalized many years ago, and a lot of things were ruined, and they just have been, over the past few years, putting a lot of money in and building it back up. So I'm sure you know about that too. So
I knew that. I thought I understood that part of the land had been sold for condos.
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
that's right.
I've never been back there, but
you should.
Other people have told me.
Yes.
About what's going on there.
Yeah, I had the wonderful privilege, and it's on my site, and you'll see that everyone else can have that has seen or hasn't seen it yet. I was able to go over there just last month on October 1st and have a booth out and have flyers on the re-release of the movie and really promote it and kind of work for them in a way. So that was very enjoyable. Met many people, and that was much fun.
Good.
Okay.
The balloons at the park were kind of like a tramway. At the San Diego Zoo, they have a tramway that you can ride across
I see.
the zoo. I'm sure they have them in other zoos and other places like that. Anyway, that's what this was like.
So they had a real...
like a balloon, though.
So they had a real tramway over there then at the park.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember how long it went. I think it just carried you across the park back to the entrance.
Amazing. Wow.
And we stayed for the show. We watched the show twice. My dad took home movies of the show.
Really?
And unfortunately, I double exposed them later with some other stuff. So I developed them, and we have these movies, but you can see the show going on, and these giant pink and orange and yellow mushrooms dancing around.
Amazing.
At the same time as like me and my friends doing crazy stuff that we had filmed later. So unfortunately, they're double exposed.
Amazing. Wow.
We got a few regular still photographs from the park, though.
Wow, that's amazing. Those are just cherished memories and cherished things that you'll never want to eventually find out that they were burned in a fire, I'm sure. I mean, I would feel the same way.
I have masks that I bought there.
Oh.
Paper masks of the main characters, Dorothy, the Scarecrow, the Tin Woodman, the Lion, and the Witch. My sister bought a Dorothy one.
Yes.
I don't know if she still has hers, but I still have mine.
Neat.
We also got we got sweatshirts too. My sister and I both got sweatshirts.
Oh, they had sweatshirts there. Wow.
Oh yeah, they had lots of stuff. Stuff in all the shops.
Wow. I will say that obviously, if you haven't been there in the past few years, you know they don't have a stage there. They don't have the restaurants. The Emerald City is not there anymore, and it's. I mean, they have the museum. They have the farmhouse and the Dorothy house and all that, and they have some of that stuff, but a lot of this other stuff they're not doing, and they don't even have anymore, because I'm sure you know, and at least for the people that don't know, it was vandalized many years ago, and a lot of things were ruined, and they just have been, over the past few years, putting a lot of money in and building it back up. So I'm sure you know about that too. So
I knew that. I thought I understood that part of the land had been sold for condos.
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
that's right.
I've never been back there, but
you should.
Other people have told me.
Yes.
about what's going on there.
Yeah, I had the wonderful privilege, and it's on my site, and you'll see that everyone else that has seen or hasn't seen it yet. I was able to go over there just last month on October 1st and have a booth out and have flyers on the re-release of the movie and really promote it and kind of work for them in a way. So that was very enjoyable. I met many people, and that was much fun.
Good.
Okay.